My name is Deborah Skelton. I'm a staff nurse full-time on the day hospice. I've been here 5 years this June, and the thing that prompted me to come here, I'd never thought of a role in palliative care, although I've worked in lots of different nursing roles, but it was actually my mum's own cancer diagnosis. She'd been diagnosed with cancer when she was 49, and then she had secondary cancer about 15 years later, and it was the fact that she came in here for some symptom management that was my first introduction to the hospice. And she only came in overnight, but in the time that I was here, which was barely 24 hours, it just made such a difference to how I felt. I'd felt for the first time I was able just to be a daughter and not a nurse and a daughter, and that sat with me for quite a while. I was working at Centre Parks at the time, and I just decided that I wanted to shift jobs because I wanted to give back to other people the way the place Eden Valley Hospice had made me feel, and that own personal experience. We look after the adult side of the services for the hospice, and they are from 18 up to whatever age, and we'll have referrals that come in, men and women, for a variety of reasons. It could be symptom management, it could be helping to support people psychologically and emotionally with new diagnoses, it could be helping people to do advanced plans for funerals, advanced care planning. Some of it is just a lot of peer support. A lot of patients come and end up making friends and find support, not just from the clinical and medical staff, but actually from each other. We do a lot of work with families, supporting sort of wider families, younger adults with children. It's really anything that gets thrown at us, really. Obviously the needs for somebody who's maybe in their 30s and 40s that might have younger people, young children, and maybe still in employment and can't work because of the diagnosis, is very different to somebody who's retired and maybe has grown-up children, grandchildren, maybe bereaved themselves in some way. So the needs emotionally are quite different, and we just try to meet all of our patients at the point of need. We're very flexible and a versatile service, and whilst we're sort of in the day hospice to help support with all those things, we also signpost to the other support groups, support networks that we have, such as Family Support Team, which involves counselling and social work and spiritual care, and we work very much as a big team in trying to address the needs of people in a holistic way, really. The day unit's open Monday to Friday, and we've got patients in 4 days a week, and on the days that we have patients, we'll come in at 8:30, which is our start time, and we usually start with a multidisciplinary team referral meeting, which is where we'll have staff from the ward, from the day hospice, social work team, spiritual care, the community support teams like clinical nurse specialists, hospice at home, which can include the nursing and occupational therapy, as well as complementary therapy teams. We've got our own complementary therapy coordinator here, so as many of those people, we've got the doctors, the consultant, we'll meet together every morning just to discuss patients, and that helps us all to know who's involved with who already, so that we can address people's needs quicker. Rather than picking up phone or write referrals, we can refer then and there at that point, and it can just speed up both continuity but overall service for a patient. So we'll have that meeting, and then that normally finishes about 9:15, so the 45 minutes before patients arrive at 10 is pretty much spent organising the day, making sure that our transport lists are up to date for the patients that are coming in that day, making sure that we've got menus and things ready, that we've got oxygen and medication that we might need for that particular group of patients. And then patients start arriving at 10 o'clock. Once they arrive, we'll greet them with a tea or coffee. They'll pretty much tell us straight away if they've got any needs, if things have cropped up in the previous week, and it could be help with their symptoms, it could be dressings that need changed, it could be just that they need to chat to somebody about something that's happened, if they've had a hospital appointment that's worrying them, and either the nursing staff or our doctor can do that. And then often there's a time of where a lot of them will chat together in small groups or a bigger group and support each other, catch up with what each other have been doing. We then have lunch, which can be a really important part of the day. All the patients are offered a 3-course lunch, and in the day hospice we have it round 2 dining tables, and for people that live on their own, that can be a really significant and social part of the day. Some people can't be bothered to cook or don't see the need to do it if it's just them, so for those people, having a 3-course meal with company is a major part of their week. So we'll have dinner. We're supported by volunteers who help in the course of the day, and we have the same volunteers each day of the week, they're integral to what we do, sort of in the day hospice and across the hospice as a whole. We'll often have entertainment in an afternoon after lunch. Some people just might want a little sleep, patients, not staff, but we'll have entertainment going on, and that can be anything from a choir, a quiz, a talk on something, and again that's really well supported by volunteers. Carol, who's our activities coordinator, organises a list of people that are in and out, just to add something a bit different to the day by way of entertainment or information. And then about 2:30 they often have a little cup of tea and a scone before they go home.